is the fourth point I try to address here. Most important source and key secrets I would like you to know. Most important source is the reference for processing. And the URL is processing.org/reference, which you're going to see an interface like this, probably because processing just made a major design updates of their websites. It probably looks slightly different, but you should find the corresponding one, which is in this page. It's a hypertext embedded page. You can find anything like this within this page, right? So whenever you say, oh, I want to join ellipse, just go there, search for ellipse. All right, you don't have to memorize. Okay, processing have this and that. Ellipse takes 4 inputs. That's generally not how programming do, not how programming happen. You always have your browsers side by side. Go to your browser, you search. All right, you just go there and you click. You will find the field. Let's give it a try. Processing. We do reference. Okay, or just remember this processing reference, and I just search. All right, within the browser, I do Command F. I do fill. Okay, I found fill, and we have all these tags for beginners. Feel free to read through, or if you already know about fill, just want to double check your memory is correct or right or wrong. Just go to the example. Oh, fill takes 1 input. Oh, fill takes 3 inputs, right? And we can see more explanation here. When it takes 3 is RGB. When it takes 1 is a gray color. Or if we change the color modes, it will be, for example, HSB and etc. We go into details, we find all this. Or you can take a specific color in this format. I don't know how to describe. This is commonly used in other design software like Photoshop and Illustrator. Okay, so you don't need to memorize all this. I will always say just use it whenever you find your memory is not so fresh. Just go to this page and go through this definition examples again. You will keep refreshing your email. Keep refreshing your memory at certain points. You will use those common ones without problem. All right. Even these days, when I try to use some functions that I didn't use that frequently, I will still go to this website and try. For example, for whatever reason, I never be able to clearly remember the syntax for array list. Just come here and see, oh, okay, this is how they do array list. Right? Just follow the same syntax and do whatever I need to do here. So that's the first one. All right, the most important resources, processing.org/reference. The key secrets, no programmer try to remember the code. All right, it's not a closed book exam. You always have the browser connected to the internet, capable of searching by your side. Whenever you find some concept is kind of vague, your memory is blurry, and you're not so sure, go for the reference. All right, so that's the 3.5 points, or the fourth point. So this is the processing. This is the processing interface. You will see this button with rectangle over. That is one button, as I mentioned. Or you can use the key combo, Command or Control plus R to run it. Or you can also go to File. No, you can go to Sketch all right, and click run. You will run the code as well. Or there are more different modes you can do. I will show you later after I show you some key functions. And let's try to write a sketch. And I already tried a little bit here. And okay, let's come back to the third most important problem I try to address here. What's the most important thing when program? Before run a program, what did I do wrong? No guess at all? It's actually a simple one. I would very much like to hear from you. No? All right. But you have to remember this one, all right? It's simple but crucial. Whenever you run your code, the first thing, what I want you to do, I want to always remember is save your code, all right? There are so many cases students, because in the programming world is slightly different. And for now, a code like this simple should be easy, all right? And as time goes, as you practice this more and more, you probably run much more complicated ones. And it's also potentially you will create more problems within the code. And it could also be very possible case that after you run your code, your program will be freezed. In that case, you terminate your program and you will lose everything, right? However, if you save your code and then run your code, even whatever happens, you will still be able to bring it back, right? You will bring the code back. Always remember this, save your code, right? So that's these four most important takeaways from this class. So write your code is literally like write text, but with very specific syntax and punctuations. So in processing, what we have here is something called a function. Let's, for now, imagine it as a command, an instruction like you do with Photoshop. It's Adobe Illustrator. When you want to draw ellipse, you can use this function. And you will see a lot of functions comes in this format. Okay, I'll make this bigger. For instance, so this, right? You will follow with the keywords telling what exactly this function do or the name of the function, followed with a bracket. And within the brackets, you pass in numbers. So, because when you want to draw an ellipse, you need to let the program know well and the size, the position and the size of this ellipse, right? So that's how this is working. And at the end of one line of code or say one command, we use a semicolon to end this as to terminate this line of code, this instruction, all right? And similarly, fill the code. If you ask me, oh, how can I know about this function? Don't forget about here. And you will not know then, boom, in one go, in 1 minute, in 1 day, in 1 month. It's not that case. We're going to name it progressively. Today you learn 5 of them, tomorrow you learn 10 of them, and these are 5 or 10 of them. You can do a small drawing, then the other day you learn some fancier syntax. You will be able to handle if statements, for loops, and can do more complex stuff. And that's what we are expecting in the coming weeks, right? So, okay, first of all, the most important one, the size function. As I mentioned, the function name size and follow with the brackets, the parentheses, and end with semicolon. All right, and it's my habit of doing things. First, I'm putting all these structure syntax in. I know I didn't miss a right bracket. I didn't miss a semicolon. What I'm missing here is those details about this instruction, right? And now I can let you know that the size function, what does it do is it tells the programmer, tells the computer, tells processing the actual size I want for this piece of code. The size of the window, the size of the canvas, right? I want to do 800, 600. And I run it. So this time is slightly different. I have a canvas size with 800 and 600 here, rather than what we had previously, a really tiny canvas with 100 by 100. Again, 100 by 100 is the by default dimension of canvas. So even when I did nothing about the size, it still gives me something, right? You may wonder, wait a second, you are commenting out something here. Sorry. You are doing something here, then it seems like this line of code is no longer working, right? It switch back to the default mode. This is something I did here is called comment. You put 2 forward slash here, you will comment out a code, which means the machine will skip this line of code. It will do nothing, right? Or you can use a short key combo command plus the forward slash, which is also the question mark key on your keyboard to command or uncommand it, right? So that's about the size function 600, 800, and it takes 2 values, the width and the height. And in processing, it's all pixel based. And I have another slide explaining this. Commenting, I've already explained, right? Comments, whatever followed by this double forward slash sign will be ignored by the computer, by the program, by the machine. So we use this to quickly like mute one line of code. We also use this to add something we don't want the program to read. For example, our own note, right? This function takes to input, right? I want to write these notes for you, also for myself, but I don't want the code reader, because if I do this, I wouldn't able to run the code. Why? Because this will be recognize a line of code which doesn't follow the syntax and punctuation, blah, 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 rules of processing, right? It will cause you an error. I do need it, but I don't want the code to read it. So we do comment, right? This is technical wise, and in our practice, why we want this. You might get confused by the code. You want to leave some notes for the future yourself. Trust me, this happens to everyone. Today you have this brilliant idea, you write some awesome codes, and tomorrow you wake up, you look at the code. What the hell does this code mean? Why does it work? Why doesn't it work? All right, and leave some notes for future yourself, for yourself tons of time. And in a more broader definition, when you collaborate, work in a team, it will be much easier. You leave some really key note here for your collaborators, for your teammates, so they can quickly understand what exactly you're trying to do with your code, rather than they look at the code and guess what this guy tried to do. Right? That's about commenting the syntax to the double forward slash. Or this is another way to do this is a forward slash follow star sign, and the star sign follow with a backward slash, forward slash. Oops. This is called multiple lines. Comment. So you can write a lot of lines of command here instead of using several copies of double slash. In a common practice, people here will put in their information, or say general introduction, first text sketch, ID 118, 2021, 22, semester 2, A1, ID, XJTLU. As some kind of headline note to explain to people who write this code what it's generally about. I can also keep saying first sketch, this sketch demos some basic functions in. Now you can write anything here because the code base, this is more for human. All right, this is commenting. Run your sketch. I've also explained to you. You use shortcuts or use this button to run it. Right? And remember, I left something here for sketch. You will see several options here. You hit run, which you already seen. If you do present, it will run in a really clean setup.